Hey, hey guys, it's Jay. Welcome back to the channel. I can never tell if my mic is on or off. That's the biggest problem with technology, man. Technology. Everybody, welcome to this not Super Bowl Sunday. Yeah, guys, this is not the Super Bowl. We're not. We're a bunch of geeks and nerds and toy collectors. This is not going to be a Super Bowl thing. This is just me and some good friends coming together to have some fun because today, man, today is something else. I got to tell you, it is absolutely crazy. But let's not beat around the bush. There have been so many things going on in the toy world, particularly with Mass of the Universe, but a lot of things which have not been so great either. And I wanted to sit down and talk about some of the things that which really affect us as a community, but at the same time, some very, very exciting news. And to help me with that, I have some very special guests who are joining me today. And guys, give me a second while I bring them in. But we have to do this right. So give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Check this out. You guys are going to love this. Watch this.
And before we dive into the news,
Don't forget to head over to toyhabits.com for all the latest news and reviews when they drop. Tell them that Jay sent you. All right, guys, I want you to help me welcome my very special guests to the channel. Of course, Michael and the Toy Sorceress from Toy Habits. Guys, welcome today. How are you guys doing tonight?
Oh my gosh, Jay, that was awesome. That was a
That was great.
Just a little fun there.
I love
guys.
it.
Doing great. Totally didn't know it was a Super Bowl like I usually do. I think one year I bought a whole bunch of light bulbs at Costco and changed my light bulbs all Super Bowl Sunday, so I called it Super Bulb Sunday. But excited to share images, with everyone and the backstory of where we got these from. And man, the MOTU news is a flowing.
Yeah, absolutely. This is crazy. Before we get to the really exciting stuff, I did want to get your opinion, guys, on. Oh, actually, Toy Sorceress, how are you doing? Like, is this a Super Bowl Sunday for you? Is your house your
Well,
house?
my husband's gonna watch it, of course, and he got little Super Bowl snacks or whatever. But yeah, a friend at work asked me like, "Oh, you have plans for the Super Bowl?" And I said, "Oh, when is that?" I'm like, "Is that this weekend?" And then she goes, "I guess that answers my question."
Love it.
So I mean, I'll watch a little bit of it with them, but
It is that time. And it's funny because I have Super Bowl parties. I've done that before, and it's not because I like
Yeah.
football. I mean, I enjoy it to a certain degree. We have a very rich football culture up here in Canada for the CFL. I do it mostly for the most part. I do it to connect with friends. I just I have friends come over, and we enjoy the game, but it's more over just to reconnect. You know what I mean? For me, that's what's really important. So that's how the Super Bowl works for us. But what's really important in any regards is, of course, to have awesome friends over. And today is no different. Toy Habits is here. We're going to enjoy what we enjoy on Super Bowl Sunday. But before we get to the really juicy stuff, I wanted to ask you guys, because we didn't have the opportunity to connect that day. A lot of things happened last night, which kind of blew. Sorry, well, I guess it was Friday. Blew my mind, and because you guys, were not there, I wanted to touch up on some of these things with you guys. We, of course, sorry, Jay over Gate Night Life, of course, was over at Germany, and he was able to witness some things that we were not. And you know what? A friend of the channel, my buddy's Customs, was able to take a look at these things. And of course, you can check out the article which was covered by toyhabits.com. Definitely go over there and check that out. But for us, we got to take a quick glimpse at this wonderful news on just a few days ago. So over at Spielwarenmesse, I think I finally got that. Spielwarenmesse, I think I finally got it. The toy show did happen last week. I believe it was a weekend ago, and honestly, very, very exciting. But we finally got a chance to take a look at this video, which was posted officially by Mattel, and it really did have some wonderful little sneak peeks at what we can see. First of all, here's the executive team that was at the show. We can even see a few glimpses here. Check it out, guys. Do you see what's in the corner up there? We
yeah.
have
Oh
that's
yeah, Urko.
yeah,
Oh, the Havoc staff and Power
yeah,
Sword. Yeah,
yeah. We got
that's great.
but is it? I think it's the Dark Power Sword, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Skeletors.
Yeah, and of course,
Yep.
Orko's Stinky Magic is coming out, and we got Astronaut Barbie over there. Lots of great stuff. Did you guys know that they've been a presenting sponsor for the last 10 years?
No idea.
No.
And yeah, I actually I was not aware that there was even a German toy show or toy fair called. I'm not even going to
Yeah.
pronounce the name. I'm just going to call it German Toy Fair.
Spielwarenmesse.
Thank you.
It took me off, as you know, it took me forever to figure that out. Yeah, just crazy. They are apparently this is their I believe they said it was their 10th year as presenters. But this is what was very exciting for Master Universe
Your
fans.
your reaction during the scene, I saw that beak as soon as that screen came on, and I text Michael about it, and then your reaction when you saw that, Jay, was just priceless.
Well,
You're like, oh my god, look at her elbow.
I
It was
know.
great.
I know.
loved it.
I was experiencing it at the same time everyone else was. That's basically what
It was
what happened.
fantastic.
I mean, like my good friend of the channel, my buddy's customs. He basically said this to me. My jaw dropped. Right, I was getting ready to go live, and I had no inclination of doing this. But the moment he sent it to me, like seconds before I went live, I was like, I gotta talk about this now. Like so I just worked it into the program. And it basically
That
took
was
over
great.
that entire segment. I mean, but what do you guys think of this? I mean, we get a small, just tiny glimpse of what Jay saw. Like, this is just incredible. Like, honestly, this is just nuts.
I love this because it's funny because the like I watched the video and it's moving so fast. I totally missed this part of it. And so the toy sorceress was like, she sent me a screenshot and she's like, look. And I was like, wow.
Well, because I was on your show, Jay, and then Michael was putting our article together, and so I had a minute to go back through and see what he actually posted. I'm like, wait, he didn't get the beak. I got to send him the screenshot. It's great.
But it's funny because our minds, the way they're built, we can construct what this thing looks like in our head from the little beak, and also the little shot that we got in between Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. So I'm super stoked about this because it's real. Like not that I did not believe Jay from Geek Dad Life. It's just so great to see stuff with your own eyes.
To physically get to see it there. Like, I still own my vintage Talon Fighter, and I love it. I don't have room to put it out on display, like many of us run out of space, but I do have it. And I love like the yellowy and orange color scheme on it, and with the blues and stuff. And I can't wait to see like what that kind of like gradated color looks like on there. And you can just see like the tip of it, and it's like this nugget of like MOTU goodness like sticking out, and I can't wait to see the rest of the bird.
What I love too is we can sort of guesstimate at the size, because if we take a look, that's sorceress up there, right? That's white sorceress up there, and obviously she's a little bit closer to the foreground. But I mean, just by actually, there's Tongue Lasher right there. This thing's going to be massive. It's going to be absolutely huge, right? And I think somebody was speculating earlier that this falls in. I believe it was Mike of Tidarium Hanger. He's speculating that these were actually purpose built so that Masterverse figures could be finagled into there somehow. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think that's great. I think a lot of people, they interchange the armor between Masterverse and the Origins figures, and so I think it's awesome. I think just like they made Eternia to kind of work in with the Masterverse scale, I'm all for it, because I guess to make stuff at Masterverse scale, it's huge. And so like if it can be somewhere in between a Masterverse scale and an Origin scale, I'm all for it. And especially because the Talon Fighter played such a significant role in the Revelation series. I mean, it was piloted, quite a bit, and we saw a teaser through that. And of course, I thought we were going to get it for the Masterverse line, but it just sounds like they're just making vehicles for the Origins line. So I think it's great.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely wonderful.
Speaking of interchanging armor, so I actually made a Origins hero out of an extra hero, because I had, sometimes you forget when you pre-order and your pre-orders cross paths and you can't stop it. So I had 2 heroes coming, and I said, what do I do with it? So I had an extra figure, and and it works perfectly. I mean, it fits him really nicely with the little cape. And he was actually sitting in my my other Talon fighter, which he fit perfectly in there too. But Michael is absolutely right about the interchangeability of both the heads and the armor. It's great, and it's so wonderful that Mattel had that foresight to make them work together, because I didn't have to do anything to finagle that on there. I just popped it on. And you can easily make this out of you know, like your palace guard, and then if you heat the legs, you can just change the legs out for ones that are flesh tone. And there you go. So it works. It worked great. That was like the palace guard loincloth and belt.
That's amazing. Holy crap. And we were talking about this earlier. Sometimes you just have too much stuff, so you got to do something about that. It's just crazy. But the
fun to do with extras.
Absolutely. But the really exciting stuff was, of course, oh my God, this was it. This was it. This was absolutely
right there.
Pure insanity. Oh my God. Like I'm over the moon about this. Guys, take me through this. What happened when you saw this scene? Like, seriously.
Yeah, again, it was jaw-dropping, and such a stark difference between the one that they showed, the prototype version that they showed in the press and influencer day release, and it looks amazing. Like the drawbridge looks awesome, and I actually didn't notice this because of course we're taking screenshot from a video, like not everything is crisp and clear, like those chains that you were talking about are hanging down, and you can just see all the detail with the snake and the non-functional mic. I'm still in shock. It looks awesome.
Yeah, they nailed it on the color. I don't own a vintage Snake Mountain, and I think I've held off on buying one all these years because just holding out hope that Mattel was going to release one for the Origins line, and here it is finally. But the colors look incredible. How they have that spray painted front with the different gradated like light and dark grays. It looks fantastic. And seeing Tongue Lasher standing on that bridge, he can actually stand. I wish they turned him the other way to see if he can like walk on it. That would be kind of cool to see if they adjusted the width. Because the vintage one was always too narrow for your figures to walk across. But he's definitely standing on there, and seeing that snake is finally looking normal. Because I don't know what it was that they showed during the 40th anniversary presser, but the snake looked way off. So that's looking fantastic.
I'm wondering
and as you pointed out, the painted wolf head is an added bonus right there.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if there was just a whole bunch of different segments which they were trying different configurations in. And again, they literally just came off the plane, right? So they were just not even ready. So everyone was like, wow, that's a big snake. That's what she said. But it's just for Jay right there. Just a good one for Jay. And it's just this wonderful thing. I love the fact that the wolf's head is painted, because as I mentioned, as I showcased before, mine isn't from the classics version. But I love the fact that it has slime covered railings. You know what I mean? You can sort of just barely make out the chains.
Yeah,
those rubberized chains that Jay was talking about. But what this is. And this is important. Oh, and any eagle eyes.
Of course, there you go. You can see a better view of the Talon fighter.
There it is, and you can see a little bit of the canopy. We can see a little bit of the stickers. Pre-applied, hopefully, right? Yeah. But this is just, and it's exactly what Michael said. It's not until you can see it, because like a friend can always tell you everything about a movie. Right, a friend can tell you everything that they know about, the Himalayas or the Grand Canyon or whatever. But until you actually see it, it's not real. You know what I mean? It's just this tale that somebody told you. Now we're seeing it. We're seeing it in real, for real, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
Incredible.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I just say it's incredible.
Yeah, 100%. Interesting note about this. A couple of people have reached out to tell me, and I think that this was purposefully done. These three gentlemen here are actually very important people in our community, and I did not know this. So actually, according to friend of the channel, Primate7Even6, he says, "Hi Jay. These two guys near the Snake Mountain are from the German forum Planet Eternia. Oh. One guy is from the editorial staff. His name is Gordon. The other guy with the gray beard and the glasses is Manuel, the founder. So there you go, Jay. So I think this was done on purpose. What do you guys think? So this is Manuel, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, these videos are produced by probably their marketing department, so they choose their images very carefully for these things, especially if it's going to be posted on LinkedIn and social media. So yeah, I mean, it has to have been done on purpose.
Yeah, definitely, and getting to see some kind of heavy hitters in the social media influencer world is very purposeful, because it's showing, that they're kind of trying to get the word out there, but without officially, releasing it. So it's really a tease of things to come. As
Absolutely.
they haven't let us see anything official, but it's neat that they let the guys go there.
It's just
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous that they were able to. And you know what? Oh, go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
No, and just even the way the shot is framed with the people in focus and Snake Mountain just a little bit out of focus, and like in Point Dread out of focus, it just gives you that taste that you need to get you through to when this actually is officially revealed and goes on sale at other retailers aside from deep discount.
You know what it is? It's building that excitement for
Yes.
the actual announcement, and it's building people's excitement for the brand, because to make sure MOTU lives on, they're like, okay, let's give some like little nuggets and stuff like that and get the juices flowing. Let's get the fans excited, and just showing little glimpses very carefully, as Michael said. I think is really working, because we're all excited.
100%. Natural Nate Marvel, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. Really appreciate it. Jay, you were the Super Bowl pre-show. Jay and Toy Habits, of course. We are the Super Bowl pre-show. Yes. If anybody's, we that's another thing. I do actually, believe it or not, I actually do have to go to a Super Bowl party later tonight. So this, anybody who's tuning in right now, this is my Sunday show. So I hope you guys enjoy this, because a lot of great things to talk about today. One other thing that I wanted to bring up today, just before we get to the really big reveal for this afternoon, guys, who would have thought the mystery sale, not the secret sale, the mystery sale, finally was revealed earlier this week, and turned out to be one heck of a bloody Valentine. Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. And I have the wrong price up there for all of our. Well, I have the right price for me.
you just gave everybody in the U.S. a heart attack. What?
I got the right price for me. I got the right price.
I know it says CAD.
Oh, for crying out loud! Come here. It doesn't like it when I change it. No, I'm just kidding. There we go. Yeah. So, guys, this has been hugely anticipated by many fans of Master Universe Revelations. Revelations. Man, they really got to work on their naming convention. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I know. I get where Kevin Smith is going with it, but this is gonna be confusing. Anyway, affectionately called, I thought it was, but affectionately now referred to by fans as God Evil Lynn. We now have Dark Lynn. First of all, what are your thoughts of the name? For me, I was taken slightly aback about that. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I thought it was a weird name. Just because she is technically another sorceress, right? And so calling it Dark is her persona, right? It's not her. It's not her being.
Her character.
Yeah, her character. So I would have loved them to call it something else. They probably couldn't call it God Evil Lynn.
Yeah. You know what? I get that.
Yeah.
Maybe if they said it like Dark Sorceress Evil Lynn or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
just adding that extra little moniker in front of it as a descriptor would have helped.
Yeah, 100%. I think that all of that would have definitely helped to bring things full forward. But I mean, I don't know. I sort of like God Evil Lynn, and you can put a small G there. I don't know. It's not. She's not a deity, right?
No.
But the other thing is, we could have done Dark Sorceress Evil, but I guess technically that's already been taken, right? Because she was the Dark Sorceress already with her bat-like form. Again, it's crazy because we had many incarnations of people and places during the series, but this one is definitely one of my absolute favorites. Now, I've made the assertion and that I'm a huge fan of anime and she just reminds me of a JoJo Bizarre Adventure type of character. You guys, do you have any idea what I'm talking about, guys?
I don't. My son would, because he watches anime. That's pretty much all he watches. But no, I don't. But I can imagine.
I'm pretty sure he'd go crazy after me saying that. How about you? How about you, Toy Sorceress?
I'll tell him.
I just think she looks like she's ready to kick some ass. Like she's just like out of my way, you know. She's dead serious. That's great.
Absolutely. What do you guys think of the sculpt? Like seriously, I was just over the moon with. I think they really captured her in plastic figure form.
Oh, they totally did. I love I need abs like that for sure. But that H, in the center of her chest, and then also that huge like collar that she has on looks amazing. And the way that they did her hair and her eyes, she kind of looks like the Ultimate Warrior from the WWF days. But
Right.
I think it works really well here. Like big shoulder armor. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the muscular sculpt on her abs and arms and everything are amazing. They're really nailing it. And I'm so glad they're, moving away from trying to use like a standard buck and creating this totally unique sculpt, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. And when we saw her revealed at San Diego Comic-Con 22, I was like, okay, this figure's coming out, but when? And then, back in, I don't know, I think around Comic-Con, I come across some person in the Fawoosh forum saying that he had talked to a Mattel rep saying that this might be a Mattel Creations exclusive, and here it is.
It really is interesting how information gets out, but
It does, yeah.
now I love the circlet. I love the halo, not halo kind of thing around her neck, because it was floating in the show, right? And I really love the technique that they've used. It just sort of just barely hides it, right? It's actually connected to her collar, which is really clever. I thought that was really neat, and the face paint, I think it's perfect. Oh my gosh, just crazy.
Yeah, the hair looks awesome too. Like I think it's hip to go like gray at the moment for for kids that are not, for people that are not super old and naturally gray. So I think this fits the sign of the times too.
Yeah, with that kind of short,
Mhm.
very hip like hairdo that she has goes along with it.
Personally, I'm glad that the gray is in, because it's taking over my life. And if you're on Instagram, they have this wonderful little. It was fun too. You swipe to the right, swipe to the left, and it actually shows Tila and Dark Lynn actually having their epic fight. Of course, it's Captain of the Guard Tila in place of Sorceress Tila until that becomes announced, I guess. So awesome stuff. The stars in her cape are just absolutely gorgeous. I didn't even like. It took me a while to realize that was happening.
Yeah, I love that part of it in the show. Like her cape kind of takes on, it's like a portal to space that you're looking at. I think it's amazing. Like they could have gone with just a normal purple looking cape, but I love the way that they captured that there. Like blue, big stars, smaller stars. It kind of gives it a little depth.
Yeah, and it reminds me of, a lot of MOTU poster art and things like that, where you'd have kind of the red and purple sky of Eternia. So you get kind of that dark, like purpley nighttime sky that they use a lot of, and that's very reminiscent of that, as well as maybe going into some kind of other dimension.
Absolutely. Here she is with her other two counterparts, and it's quite the journey that Evelyn has had, throughout. And we can actually see that she is towering over these other two characters. I imagine she's like a 7.5 inch character. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I could see her being as tall as the Masterverse 2 Bat or Beastman. I mean, obviously not as thick and bulky, but yeah, I could see her totally being.
Yeah, I was actually looking at mine on the shelf right now too, trying to compare that in my mind.
She's pretty thick as it is, though. I think she's showing off the guns. You know what I mean? Like getting all up in there with all the other heroes, all the other heroes of Eternia. Now I've tried, like I have this head in my head canon now. I don't know. I just want to ask you guys about this. I believe the H stands for hero, as in hero. That Toy Sorceress just put in front of the figure. But it's the hero of Eternia, and that's actually why every single person, including Skeletor, actually has an H emblem on their chest, because it's not He-Man. Right? Anybody can be the hero of it. Apparently, anyone is capable of becoming the hero of Eternia, and even I guess in the case of in the case of Lynn, has control. There's the other thing. Was she both the sorceress and the hero of Eternia, and that's actually why she was able to destroy the universe? There are many questions that arise from that. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I haven't delved into that part of the canon just yet, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible that she has the ability to destroy everything just rolled up into one person. I mean, she was trying to get it all, and people who try to get it all a lot of times don't succeed.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yep. No, go ahead.
Oh no, it just seems that at the end of the episode, and it's been a while since I watched it, that she like harnessed all the power into herself. So maybe she's taking all that power from Eternia, from like the past and present, like pre-Eternia and current Eternia, and turning it into like that's why she's like kind of the ultimate goddess or being, that the all powerful.
Absolutely. So a couple of discussions which were happening around this particular figure. Lot of it's polarizing, the figure itself, but mostly because a lot of fans, much like the controversies that surrounded the series, are kind of like yay or nay. As a matter of fact, I was listening to a video with live stream with the Great Skull, I believe it's Great Skull podcast, Skelevator and Osterman's Toys, Bobby and Oz and Ron there. And they were of the opinion that she's too much leg. She's got way too much leg. Yeah. Like she's literally towering over everybody, and that it might not. It like the proportions of the figure are maybe just slightly off. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean her legs do look super muscular. I mean they are bulky, but I think they go with the rest of her sculpt. I mean the last iteration of Lynn, in her sorceress form, they're making very scantily clad Evelyns, but that said, that's how she appeared in the Revelation series, and so I think when you rip somebody right from a cartoon and make them into plastic, like this is really what you have to deal with. But I mean, proportion wise, I actually like the definition in her legs, because this is what a normal like person would look like. If you were super muscular, you were super fit, you would have muscles in your legs, and like if you look at the other legs and arms of all the other bucks, they're just pretty much smooth and flat. It's just a leg, and so I'm actually happy about that.
Yeah, no, I think proportionally, I mean, to me, maybe it looks a little long, but she's kind of a tall character. You can see, on her other versions, how she has very tall, long, lanky legs. So I think it goes along with it. The musculature looks right, and I was just laughing because me and Michael have a nickname for Evelyn version too.
Okay.
You
can't leave it like that. You're gonna
it's appropriate, Jay.
It's appropriate. Lingerie Lynn.
You're not gonna tell us? Oh my gosh, yeah. That's just, you guys are just terrible.
I mean, I don't know. It's something about the way they painted that outfit on her.
Yeah. Lingerie Lynn is what she said.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone was thinking it, especially during that scene where she decides to get totally personal with Skeletor.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, come on. Obviously, we're Kevin Smith at that moment was going for a shock factor, I think, and he got it. I mean, like I think a lot of us were shocked. Want to give a huge shout out to Osterman's Toys, who was in that discussion. Loved Revelations and eagerly waiting Revolutions. Yes, I am totally waiting for that too. Oz, check the private chat. Just ask you a favor if you could. So the figure is coming out very, very soon. We have, and okay, so I'm going to bring this up only because what are you guys thinking about toy companies now deciding, for whatever strange reason, to hijack holidays, not even holidays, but special days like Valentine's Day? I mean, the G.I. Joe team is having a live stream on Valentine's Day. What is going on?
I really don't get it.
Me neither. Well, I mean, us being, toy tubers or whatever, we're going to be super busy on days where they have live streams, and we have, you know, family and a significant other to be with on Valentine's Day. So that's just going to make it that much more difficult to juggle, you know, getting the news out and spending time with our you know, loved ones. So, but that's just us, you know. The rest of the public, yeah, I mean, you're going to be busy doing something on Valentine's Day, and I don't know how many people are going to have the time or even, you know, get kind of reprimanded for like, oh, I got to log in and buy this figure during, you know, when you're supposed to be celebrating Valentine's Day.
And weren't we talking about this a couple weeks ago, where like the toy companies need to coordinate and not do stuff on the same day, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I forget what happened the last time. It was Mattel and Hasbro, I think.
It was G.I. Joe Day and Star Wars had a live stream.
Oh, that's right. And Star Wars.
Yeah, it was an internal struggle between like a bunch of companies. It was just absolutely ridiculous. Like
happening again.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Lynn comes with a whole host of if I can find the proper thing. Yeah, Lynn comes with a whole host of accessories. And honestly, I'm very, very excited about this. Not sure. I'm hoping that this is the final the final face painting. But you can actually see there is a slight difference between this one here, which they took photographs from, and this one. But I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, this actually looks more like plastic to me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. Whereas this one looks, there's something interesting. Like there's a visual difference here, right? This one looks like it's got gold spray on it.
Yep.
And this one looks more like it's just you know, orange or yellow.
It's like the hero armor. You know, like the hero armor is kind of like a flat plastic gold color, but when they first showed him in the promo pics, it looked more silvery or like more gold and shiny looking. So I think you have that right, Jay.
Yeah. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how that develops.
They kind of need to stop doing that though, because like if you go back to that other image, like I love the way that's painted. And it shows off so nicely, and then you go to the other one, and especially with the plastic-free packaging that they're using, you don't know what you're gonna get. But I think Roy Juarez posted an unboxing on Instagram today, so I need to check that out again just to see.
Yeah, I will actually. On that note, so. I believe Manuel. Let me just let me bring this forward then.
Same guy.
Yeah. So Manuel Eduardo Caritas has actually posted more in-depth photos of what comes with the figure. So we already seen these shots, the front and the back pictures, but they have decided, I guess, going forward. That these will be plastic-free packaging because there is no window, as Michael just mentioned. So yeah, this is an interesting choice. But you do get these wonderful images and what are these called? Inserts. So that in and of itself is something to be wow, like, you know, some great stuff which you can use to display your figures with. But is this a good thing? Is this something that we should be happy about, or is this something that you know, knowing the track record right now with Hasbro and their QC issues of late, is this something that we should look forward to, or is this something we should be wary of, guys?
I would say if Mattel kept the plastic-free packaging to their Mattel Creations figures, which they have control over the supply of and the packing of, QC issues aside, like you're not going to get a figure swap in them unless you might get one on eBay. But we had a long, lengthy discussion about the plastic-free packaging and all of its woes a while ago, right? And so, yeah, I'm wary of plastic-free packaging because every time I go into a Target, I see a figure swap. I mean, this is not even in plastic-free packaging. This is in window display packaging. You see all these figure swaps.
No, I mean, you know, this is going to be a Mattel Creations exclusive. It's shipped directly from Mattel. We're not going to have those kind of issues. No one's going to be swapping the figure, you know, in the factory or the warehouse when they send it to you. So I'm I'm not too concerned about that for this particular figure. I just don't want them to go that way for like the entire line. Let's just not do that. And absolutely, even with the packaging that has a window on it, there is figure swapping or head swapping, but at least you can see it in the store before you buy it, and you know to like either bring it up to customer service or like leave it on the shelf. You're not going to buy that one. But if you're getting this from Mattel directly, I wouldn't worry about it. And there is some incredible artwork on there. It's, you know, it's very creative. Mattel does an amazing job at their creative packaging. I got to give them that. I mean, it's just spectacular. So this is just, you know, showing off what they do best.
Yeah, and actually, that said, like I would actually love the Masterverse line itself to actually be plastic free and actually be a cardboard front because of just of the art that's on there. And just to be honest, I think the box fronts of the Masterverse figures are so boring. Like, yes, you can see the figure. Sometimes they fill out the box, sometimes they don't. But I would love to see more art.
Yes, of course. Read it quickly because I know Toy Sorceress has to leave. You know, for a prior engagement. I did want to share, of course, the main presentation that we were here for today, guys. What's going on here? Today on ToyHabits.com, some incredible news that has been shared. Holy crap! In-hand image reviews from the brand new Man at Arms. From Revelations. Holy crap. Definitely, if you guys want to see the full review, head over to toyhabits.com. This is absolutely incredible. Toy Sorceress, why don't you go ahead and walk us through really quickly what you thought when you saw these pictures.
Well, this is incredible. And MOTU Collector was the one that sent us these images, we want to thank them graciously for sending all those images to Michael. And Michael actually put this whole article together. But this new figure for Man at Arms just looks incredible. The amount of detail that's on there, and just from the sculpt, just on his like shirt, where it looks like it's kind of tattered pieces of cloth that have been like sewn together. The detail on the end of his cape that looks like, you know, it's also, you know, he's been through a battle, so he's been carrying that cape around with him for, you know, throughout like all of his different battles that he's been through. And then the amount of accessories and pack out, the weaponry that he comes with, and the different looks you can get on this figure are incredible. And just the cues they took directly from the Revelation cartoon. And I know, we were taking a look at some of the clips of that, but they just totally nailed it. You know, that arm cannon is amazing. That huge cannon he wears up on his shoulder is incredible. And you know, you can see people buying two of these, you know, and MOTU Collector actually had two of them on his shelf to display like both versions of Man at Arms. So look at that gun. And it's painted. I mean, there's painted parts on it, which is incredible. You don't see a lot of painted accessories in the Masterverse line. I mean, maybe a tiny little bit here and there, but for the most part, there's not too much. And that just kind of takes me back to, you know, classics when they really had that kind of attention to detail on the weapons and accessories. And this figure definitely gets that deluxe treatment.
Absolutely, Michael. You know, this is just absolutely crazy. Really quickly, the MCU Collector on Instagram was the one who broke this news to everybody, and huge thanks to him. You know, I'm just gonna let Toy Sorceress have sign off if she needs to. And any last words, Toy Sorceress, because I know you have to get going.
I can't wait to get this Man at Arms in hand. I think he looks great. And again, you know, Mattel has just been like kicking it up a notch every single time they come out with these new deluxe figures. I thought they couldn't outdo themselves after Too Bad and Beastman, but this Man at Arms just looks great. I can't wait to get him in hand. And again, thanks MOTU Collector for sending that over to us. You know, if please give them a like and a follow and a subscribe to their channel and their Instagram page. They're great. But yeah, going through these scenes through the cartoon, the Revelation cartoon, they totally nailed it. He looks fabulous. All that, the armor's all new. It's all brand new sculpting. They didn't reuse any parts from the previous Man at Arms. And he just looks incredible. I can't wait to get this guy.
Absolutely, guys. I wanna give a huge shout out to Toy Sorceress for helping to host today's episode. Again, it was so wonderful to have you today, Toy Sorceress. We're looking forward to seeing you again very very soon.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys. I'm gonna sign off, but continue to have fun. I'll catch
Take
up
it
with
easy.
your episode later.
Have
Thanks,
have a
Jay, for
happy
having me on.
Sure. Have a happy Super Bowl. Well,
Thanks. You too. See you guys.
Bye.
See ya.
And then there were two. So, Michael, let me know, what are your thoughts on this package? Again, huge breaking news right now.
Yeah, no, I again, I wanted to personally give a huge shout out to it's MOTU C Collector with a C, so
Oh,
MOTU C Collector. As we couldn't even be talking about this with him posting this image on Instagram, and I've chatted with him a few times before, and he's actually a fantastic person, and you know, I know it puts people out when I ask people for images. And so I'm trying, I always say like, okay, could you send this to me? But if you can't, no big deal.
yeah.
But he was really happy to send them over. And, just so we could share this with everyone. So all the credit goes to Mo2C Collector on Instagram. So yeah, just give him some love and a follow. But yeah, I think as I was surfing Instagram, like I always do late at night, I came across this image, and it looked a heck of a lot like that Deluxe Man-at-Arms Masterverse figure that is not out yet. And the caption just read "done." And I was like, okay, I'm like, is this a custom? Because usually, like, if somebody is working on something and they show a picture and they say "done," I'm like, okay, there's their finished product. But so I looked at it, and being a researcher, I cross-referenced all the images and even the official images, and sure enough, it was legit. And so I had DM'd him last night, and I think he'd already gone to bed. And so I wake up really early in the morning, and so we were chatting, and he was very happy just to send me all of these pictures, which was so nice of him. But yeah, so excited. And yeah, I think, and there's a couple folks in the comments asking if this has been released yet. No, it's on target.com. It says sold out, but it has never gone up for sale. And the reason why you know that is because there's 0 on eBay. If this had gone up for sale and sold out, there would be some on eBay. But sometimes when Target puts placeholders in their in their system, sometimes they say sold out and sometimes they don't.
Yep. Jay from Geek Dead Life is in the house. Good to see you, Jay. Jay, if you want to hop on, let us know. Always happy to discuss these wonderful new revelations with someone like with someone like Jay, and we can even talk about Jay's experience that we finally seen in real life on video. So Jay, let us know if you are up for a small chat. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna, why bother? I'm just gonna send him the link. If he hops on, he hops on. Don't wanna pressure Jay or anything like that, but sometimes it's fun to have somebody drop in. The pack out is incredible. Walk us through this, Michael. What are we seeing here?
So I was excited to get this shot of the pack out because when we saw this at the 40th presser event, he was already out of the package. And so it's actually fun to see how he fills out the box. I mean, the armor is fabulous. That huge piece of black and orange shoulder armor is amazing. And the cannons, and especially the one that comes on his arm, and the alternate head sculpt, I think this is definitely deluxe worthy. It's well done. It captures how he showed up in the Revelation series in episode 2 part 1, and also in episode 5 in part 1. You actually see him using the cannon to just obliterate and incinerate an army of Rotons in one fell swoop. So I think they did a fantastic job. And I think when I first saw this Man-at-Arms in the Revelation series, I was so hoping that they would make it. And I was so excited to see it at the presser event and actually get to see it in real life now.
The packaging design is wonderful too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No. It's all of the artists who do these MOTU art for these packages are fantastic.
I'm very, very excited at this is not a deluxe. This is like a plus figure. Like, what are they calling these things?
I don't know what they're officially called. Like, yeah, because I mean, I think they are still called deluxe figures, and I think they reserve that for the extra wide and also just the oversized single carded box. But yeah, the art's amazing. The side art is pretty cool because it's actually it's a more chunkier version of Man at Arms than I remember, and so I actually really like when artists take some liberties with just kind of designing how they think the character. It's like it's how they feel the character is coming through in the art.
I love the fact we get soft goods on this one as well. Very, very indicative of the character on screen.
Oh, totally. And actually, if you buy two of these, I guess I didn't ask if the cape was removable or not. I'm assuming it is, but in episode 2, you also get introduced to Roboto, and he's also wearing a similar kind of soft good
Oh, that's true.
poncho, and so you can have something for Roboto too.
That's actually a really good point. And I love the fact that you guys were decided to juxtaposition. Well, not juxtaposition. You actually positioned different cells in the series to actually showcase, what was included and the accuracy that was involved with this particular Man at Arms and the show.
Yeah, I love doing that because also like the Revelation series is not everybody's cup of tea. So in my mind, I want to kind of bring some of that historical reference to these images, and so everybody can see like, okay, that's where it came from. And yeah, that shot right there is just it's freaking amazing.
It is incredible. Yeah, I mean, like, as you said, you buy two of these, and you can't go wrong. I
No,
mean, he is literally like, in terms of, like, if we're going to talk about football, he is a huge linebacker right now. He's
yeah,
absolutely freak. He's got the helmet. He's got the pat. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Man at Arms was patterned after a football player. I mean, seriously, he looks balls. You know what I mean? He looks like ballsy. He looks like he could take a hit and keep on going. That's like
I love it.
how appropriate that we have someone as big as burly as Man at Arms, on today's stream.
Yeah,
The scene itself where he showcased this. Here's the thing about Duncan. I always felt that Duncan could have done more in the Filmation series, and I'm super excited when I saw him in action. As old as he was, taking on all those merfolk, right, and just kicking ass. I mean, he
yeah.
was just absolutely ridiculous. Finally, getting his due as the former, man at arms of Eternia.
Yeah, and you would expect him to show up in a cartoon series like this because he is the creator of all the armaments and the technology in the MOTU universe for He-Man and all of his friends. And so I'm actually was really excited to see him play a lot bigger role and not just kind of a destitute outcast role like we first saw him. So like seeing that flashback when he just laid waste to Merman's army, and then in episode 5 where he just incinerated all those rotons. It was just so perfectly timed, like his appearance in all of these.
Again, say what you will about say what you will about Kevin Smith, but the series itself was well directed. I thought many of the scenes, which a lot of people will consider to be fan service, were actually quite well done. I mean, like right at the end when they're trying to get down to Man at Arms and into the dungeons and everything, we saw so many different characters who were just like nods to the fan and the history of Master Universe. Pig Boy, Goat Man, Blade, all these crazy characters who I'm really hoping we're actually going to see come to fruition now that Man at Arms has officially been these are somewhat leaked, but that we do have Man at Arms front facing.
Yeah, I would love to see all those characters. And I think there was one shot when the Sorceress Evil Lynn had all of those characters, I think except for Blade lined up. And I was like, I need all of these in Masterverse, and I hope they come too.
Absolutely. Now, I think you mentioned the article. This tbhstore.nl. What was going on with those guys?
Yeah, so this is actually where we got the tip that this was going to be a Target exclusive. And so I'm I'm trolling all of these sites all day long just looking for updates and things that are dropping. And so I think if you scroll down, if they haven't removed it, I think at the bottom it said Target exclusive. And so I think that that tipped me off to say like, okay, these people who own these toy companies overseas, they know not they might not be able to stock it, but I think they want to throw it on their site. And so I think to have it not in stock, I think they have to reference where it's coming from. And I think they do that with a couple others like Galactic He-Man, the Masterverse figure is on there too. And but this was actually the only one that was called out as a Target exclusive. So it could stand to reason that maybe it's a shared exclusive for a bit, and then it gets a wider release, kind of like that deluxe Masterverse New Eternity of Beastman did.
Absolutely, it's right at the bottom. So you and I here are just covering it, but it does actually say exclusive to Target on this article. Natural Nick Marvel, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. Rob Liefeld designed Man at Arms cannon. Get the heck! Oh, that's fun. Is that a joke? Is that a joke? Yes, it does. It is reminiscent of a Rob Liefeld design. Yes, I will go ahead and say that. It really is one of those angular, rounded off type of things that Rob used to do back in the day. So I mean, yeah, okay, I will. But it looks cool, man. It looks cool. I I don't know. Were you a '90s X-Men fan, Michael?
No, I mean I've watched the movies here and there, but like the X-Men, I haven't really dove super far into. Like the two things that I do dive super far into are, of course, Star Wars, GI Joe, and MOTU.
Absolutely. But yeah, I believe that's what the reference is for from Natural
Yeah.
Nick Marvel there. I mean, it's a very rounded off gun. Although very futuristic. But the other thing we have to remember is in animation, they try their best to get things which can become easy to animate, and I don't blame them for making a gun which is very much a simple rounded shape, and it still looks very very futuristic.
Yeah.
When you really break it down. And honestly, this was decimating forces outside of Castle Grayskull like crazy. I was shocked, and he was holding his own by himself. Like there was nobody, there was no support out there. It was crazy.
Yeah, especially against Triclops's insane motherboard legion that comes attacking Castle Grayskull every few hours. So
Yeah,
it's
it was
like, yeah, it's awesome.
how many waves that they sent after him. I mean, he said that the next wave is coming in, and he calculated it down to a science, right?
Yeah,
So
of
again,
course.
just incredible to see this realized. Super excited about this figure. Thank you for sharing, Michael. And again, a huge shout out to MOTU C Collector for these picks. Just absolutely incredible. Holy crap! Lots of crazy MOTU news happening today. Super excited that we're getting just even a chance to look at this. The future seems bright, Michael. Like honestly, it really does. Did you catch my interview with Scott Nadlick by any
I
chance?
did. So I was working that day, and so I could only tune into a part of it, but I did catch a lot of it after it was done.
What were your like? Just candidly, what were your thoughts? Like, okay, let's do it this way. What was your takeaway? What was your takeaway from the discussion? Was it useful at all? And did we learn anything more than we already knew?
So I don't think we learned anything more, just aside from like I like to hear the thought process of Scott and other people that make videos and have a lot of deep history with Masters of the Universe. And so I think my takeaway was that he knows certain information. And I think one of the things that I actually that I think rang true with me was when he called out, like, it's kind of like doing investigative journalism, right? It's like you have your sources, they tell you stuff, and you're putting it out, as news. And so, I mean, personally, I caveat the heck out of stuff if I hear stuff like that. But I think some of the positioning, I don't agree with, but I actually like the fact that he is bringing this up because it generates a lot of discourse and discussion, and that's what it's all about. Like, the toys are great, but it's also fun to talk about all this other stuff too.
Yeah, you know what? Again, so just as a matter of protocol, I will tell everybody, you you can't invite people onto your show and expect them to change their story. They're not going to do that, right? That would ruin their credibility, right? No matter what everybody believes. The other thing you cannot do, or you should not do. You can do it if you want, but you can't attack somebody who's a guest of your show. You just can't do that.
It's a big
right?
no-no.
Besides, what good is berating somebody who's already has a position, in mind? Like they aren't going to change their story unless they, for whatever reason, it suits them, right? Scott has been very, very consistent in what he's said over the year, and for him to change that now would just be ridiculous. It just makes no sense. And the point of having Scott on was to see his opinion of what we saw. What did he think about the leaks that have been that appeared on deepdiscount.com? According to him, he had no idea they even existed. Wink. But we just don't know. Obviously, it is what it is. And we did put him on the spot. We said, "What do you think?" We asked him point blank, "What do you think of the Nuremberg show?" And to me, what really shocked me was he said that he didn't see it as big of an importance as other shows. He said in a certain regard, he sort of said, well, it would have been more important if it came out of North America than actually being shown at Germany. I thought that was interesting. I was like, well, that's kind of weird. And then I even went as far as to ask him, could this be a European exclusive instead? And he sort of chuckled and said, well, it's happened in the past. Right. And it's possible. What were your thoughts on that segment?
Yeah. So actually, just to start, I thought you did a fantastic job, just kind of asking him questions and just being a gracious host and letting somebody speak without going on the attack. I thought you did the right thing, and I thought that was exactly how I thought that stream would play out. And I think from the fact of just having things just be insignificant showing up at a German toy fair, I don't think it's insignificant at all. And so I think it's just progress, and just looking at the display of all of Mattel's properties in there, I wouldn't call that particular show insignificant at all. And I guess the United States is only one part of the world. Like North America is only one part of the world. And so I actually love it that they're showing all these things overseas. And it doesn't mean that they might be a European exclusive. I mean, that happens. I'm sure, it happened in MOTU when the Powers of Grayskull line, kind of had a false start, and it ended pretty early. There were a lot of economic reasons for that, but I thought that it was a good sign that all of this stuff is coming out, and the fact that they threw it in a video doesn't mean they're hiding it. And so they want people to see it.
Yeah, again, opinions are opinions. That was the whole point of the discussion. We wanted his opinion, and he gave it to us. A lot of people are surprised, in the chat and on comments afterwards. A lot of people are surprised he didn't put as much stock in the show, being one of the largest toy shows in the world. Right now, this could just be North American bias. I think that's possibly true. I mean, he's only ever, as we know, worked for North American companies, right? So I'm not sure. Like, I'm not even sure he's ever been to Nuremberg. You know what I mean? Like that's possible too. But from what a lot of toy, folks have said, if you don't know what the Nuremberg show is, what the heck are you doing in the toy industry? I mean, like people have actually said stuff like that, right?
Wow.
So, but again, those are opinions, right?
Yeah.
Those are equally as opinion as that. Cora Burlett, who is actually in Germany, I'm really looking forward to this Man at Arms. So are we, Cora. I mean, he's just absolutely ridiculous. Juan Soto, hello from Puerto Rico. Good to see you, Juan. Thank you for being here tonight. Backwood 78. Is this the Kevin Smith He-Man? Yes, it is. It is the Revelations He-Man. Tough nerd toys. Mattel is using better plastic as well as the Masterverse line. There's an interesting question. The question of QC at Hasbro has come into the forefront lately, especially with the release of all the D&D figures and the Sky Striker recently. Michael, what are your thoughts? Like you picked up a few items from Hasbro recently, haven't you, or has it been quite some time?
I picked up the Sky Striker. Fortunately, everything was actually minty fresh in there. It came with all the parts and all the carded figures. There was no damage, there was no creasing, there was no bending, and so I mean, there are going to be quality control issues, but when you're talking about quality control issues at scale, that's a problem. So I think yes, there's quality issues with the kind of the flimsy card back that Hasbro uses for their GI Joe O-ring figures, and there's going to be paint slop on certain parts no matter what company you go with. And so I think as a collector, it's something to be wary about, and it's something that it's definitely concerning because we do pay a lot of money for toys. Like I was actually added up how much I spent, and I'm not going to disclose that over the air, but it was a lot.
You don't have to be ashamed of that.
You don't want to do that.
I spend quite too much money on toys.
Yeah, but what do you think though?
You know what? I have 2 sets of the D&D wave, and I'm scared. I'm scared to open them. I'm actually very, very frightened to open them. My Sky Striker, as I unboxed it yesterday. I haven't opened up the paper packages yet, and I do have to do that now. I was actually going to keep it mint in box, like everything. Like I was going to do that. I was kind of disappointed that they didn't include those sets inside the box. I thought that now they're just loose. You know what I mean? I have to keep the shipping box, which is dumb. You know what I mean? I thought that was just ridiculous. If I like, not that I'm a mint box collector, but if I wanted to keep the box, up on a shelf, I didn't want to have to hold on to, paper baggies, separately. It seems so disingenuous to me. Now I understand the rationale behind it, right? But in my opinion, I think as a collector and possibly inbox collector, I think people would really appreciate it if they were all included together. It's just very, very odd their decision making. As far as the plastic goes, I haven't had too many issues with Hasbro plastic. I am worried. I mean, like Serpentor was just top notch. Serpentor was absolutely incredible.
They nailed that one.
So no problems there. And you know what? Luckily, and I'm in Canada, so it's cold up here. So a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's the weather." It's the transitioning from this and that. I don't think that's what it is. There's something else going on. Whether or not it's the factories that they're using, it's funny how things play out. But we are in the age of the internet, so when you get to this stage where everyone and informational exchange, and you've talked about this at length, Michael, now more than ever, especially with plastic-free packaging, now is the time to make sure that you know what you're doing, right? And you're aware of everything that's happening. There are people who have picked up Mondo He-Man and haven't even tried twisting his waist, right? So they might not even know what's happening, right? And you know what? That in and of itself is fine, but 5 months down the road, 6 months down the road, all of a sudden you pick him up and he snaps. This is something that really needs to be discussed, right? And this is a very important thing, and it's the job. Job is a relative term, but it's our responsibility as toy collectors in this community to keep each other informed, right? And that's huge. But if in terms of like Hasbro's overall QC,
yeah, I agree. I actually don't see it quite a bit. Like I pour over the GI Joe Classified series, and there might be one speck of paint maybe in one of the figures that I have that can easily just come off with some rubbing alcohol. But that's
yeah. I think people are a bit too here's the other thing. I think people are, but the price is really what determines this as well. But I think people are a bit more anal these days about their paint, and the reason I say that is because it's coming out of a factory, right? These are people on an assembly line. How accurate do you think they're really? Do you think they're really going to take that stripe, that pinstripe, feel? They're not. They're pumping these things out like 30, 40 an hour. You know what I mean? Like this is not something that's going to be a very dedicated and labor of love kind of situation. It just can't be. It just can't.
Yeah, but I think also too, we grew up in an age where there were 3 3/4 inch figures, but we also weren't poring over the details as them with kids. And when you have these 6 inch figures, everything shows. And so I think that's also part of it too. It's just the scale of these figures that we're buying nowadays. You're going to see uh, paint defects and some QC issues.
Absolutely. Um, again, we are now adults, right? And these are, for the most part, these are we're adults, but on the inside, please don't use adult. No,
No, I'm not.
we have this. Not you.
My, my daughter thinks I'm eternally 12, so
There you go. Exactly.
She's older than me now.
That's the key, right? So again, we're all kids inside, but it's our money needs to go further, in a lot of ways. And I love this is the golden. This is a second golden age for toys for people of our age, right? And we do have to really like appreciate, at the very least, what we're getting, this far into our youth, if you will. It's coming back to us, right? And that's absolutely crazy. And I just noticed that that my Destro has a limp foot. I don't know. It's that's packaging, guys. That's packaging. It's not two left feet. It's actually packaging. But we're more what's it called, critical. We're more critical about what we get, and I understand that, right? As with age, but when you're 5 years old, it doesn't matter. You're basically just like bashing these things together. Paint transfer is going to happen. Like I've got tons of figures with each other's paint on top. It was like a color party or something. It's crazy, right? But you know what? At the end of the day, I think we're blessed to have this this resurgence of action figures now during this time, and the companies know it. That's the biggest thing. Cora says MOTU toys were displayed at the Nuremberg Toy Fair back in the 1980s too. That's how we got the German audio dramas, which gave us Anti-Eternia He-Man. That's wonderful. Wow. Since Scott had worked on an online only line, he probably wasn't in Nuremberg, which is for retail buyers. That's probably true. He has worked on other lines though, Cora. I mean, he was part of the DC line for the movie figures for Green Lantern. So I mean, he's done lines outside of online only. That one went straight to retail. But would he have gone to? I mean, he did go to San Diego Comic-Con. You know what I mean? So it's not that he wouldn't have gone, but the truth is, people are only going to tell you what they want to tell you. I mean, like that's really we have to basically take whatever Scott said to us at face value. That's basically what it is. Wheels of Chaos Dude says Hasbro are a QC mess. Wow. I do think though, and I was trying to bring this point up earlier, with the internet, the access to information is huge, and the problem is that we're seeing a lot of people, with it could just be the 10%. You just never know, but those 10% are vocal about it, right? Yeah. And what are your thoughts about that, Michael? Like, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing, in your opinion?
Oh, just with quality control in
general?
Just
being have this people are reporting about it and really putting that magnifying glass on it.
Yeah, and actually I think you made a fantastic point about this could be the vocal minority. And so like as a researcher and who's been doing research for the past 23 years, a lot of issues do come from the vocal minority. So it's up to these companies to kind of suss out whether they need to take stock in and figure out if these QC issues are real or not. And I'm sure they have standards and percentages that they go by. But I actually think it's fine, because I think it causes these toy companies to or in my mind at least, to reevaluate their practices. And at least in Mondo's cases, I'm sure they are going back to the drawing board with a lot of their not their designs, but maybe the construction of their designs, because that's going to cost them a lot of money if all of these really expensive figures break, and have so much breakage. I mean, to have yours and the Toy Sorceress's break, and I don't think that's random. So there might be a rampant issue with Mondo just per se, but that said, I love the brand and I love the company. Their customer service is fantastic, and they're handling this like they should. But I do think that these companies need to know about this, even if it's from the vocal minority or not. This causes somebody in the company to say, hey, let's look into this, and maybe something will come out of it.
Yeah, 100%. Where's my camera? Yeah, 100% for sure. I mean, that is that is definitely again, people tend to focus in on things which are negative, right? And that's the problem. And it is what happens, and it's what's happening right now. Wretched Thee says, what's with the score? What's the score with Duplico on Wave 12? So, funnily, you should mention that if we head over towards hey, where is it? Gosh, give me 1 second, guys. I went to the wrong channel. If we head over towards toyhabits.com, Wave 12 has actually shown up on Walmart.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk us through this, Michael?
Yeah, so we try to be as helpful to the community as possible, and so we try to dig up these listings where we can find them, and we have our ways to dig up stuff that is not readily searchable on these websites and provide the information. So so interesting, if you actually scroll up to the card back of Duplico, I think this is where the question is coming from. Duplico is swapped out with Hypno in this wave. So the cross sell is all Wave 12. And so there's a couple of theories, right? Either this is their first 5-figure wave, but that said, why wouldn't they just cross sell all of them? There's also another theory, if Hypno was supposed to replace, or it was Duplico supposed to replace Hypno, and they just have all of these cards produced with them swapped out. So I can only go by what I see, and so I'm thinking this particular wave is a 5-figure wave, and this is how the card backs look.
I understand that, but it's not like it's the first time it's happened. I mean,
Yeah.
they've had multiple cross sells on the backs before. I tend to think that really the line's moving up, and there are so many characters being introduced at any given time, and it just might be this type of situation. But at the end of the day, what's most important is the fact that this one's heading to Walmart, as far as we can tell. Where the heck did it go? I mean, this image right here, there he was, right?
Yeah.
What was this discovered?
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that this is going to be a Walmart exclusive by no means, but this is not scanning up in Target. This is not, the only place where I could get it to come up was Walmart at this point, and Target is usually behind putting all of these figures up, at least in their databases. So like Walmart has all of Wave 12 plus Duplico, and Target doesn't even have that in their system. And yeah.
I'm hoping that we're gonna, like, the leaks are just coming fast and furious right now. It's absolutely ridiculous. Have you ever seen anything like this, Michael? Like, seriously, like so many things back to back to back to back.
It's crazy because like there was the card art leak for Duplico, right? So it's the digital rendering showing him, that hero image on the back of the MOTU card, which, okay, he's coming out. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's later on down the line. It wasn't even a week later, or was it days later, that it shows up at Walmart at Frankenstein's and somebody's buying it, and we have in-hand images already. It's nuts.
Just crazy. But the other leaks that are happening, like on deepdiscount.com, I did ask. Here's a strange thing. In my interview with Scott Knight, like, I asked him, I was like, is this normal? Like does this actually happen? Because isn't there some sort of embargo? Like, aren't you supposed to hold off on making announcements until they're actually like solicitations or anything like that? And his response kind of took me aback a little bit. He actually said, I don't know if you remember, but he actually said that if it's not tied to a movie brand or some sort of license where they don't want it released, anything's game. And I really found that strange. What are your any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I found that strange as well, and I remember him saying that, but I don't know if this is maybe different countries operating different ways. Like, I don't know actually where Deep Discount is located and where they operate from, but that might have something to do with it. But yeah, I mean, usually the folks like Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store won't do this at all. And so they will wait until the go ahead to have the figures go live in their system. And also just speaking of leaks, we came across a listing for Terror on Lulu Berlu not too long ago last week. And so, yeah, it's funny just coming across all these random websites that kind of give some credence to the leaks being confirmed, but also just the health of the MOTU line in general.
Yeah, it is an early indicator. I also found it interesting that, and I wonder your thoughts on this. Scott basically said that they can make prototypes and make announcements all they want, but sometimes a line will just die and no one knows no one knows why. And sometimes prototypes and figures actually make it out in small quantities, but they disappear shortly after. Any thoughts on that?
I think that happened a long time ago, and I actually don't see that happening today. And maybe it's not with the lines that I collect or that I'm into, but typically, I think you said it before, with the amount of information that's out there now, we know exactly probably what's contributing to a line dying. We have access to a lot of information that we didn't have growing up in the 80s. And now I'm talking as my kid self in the 80s. If I was an adult, what did we have to read? We had to read the newspaper. We didn't have these full articles of companies' quarterly releases, what's driving their revenue. And I think even in 2021, Mattel called out in one of their quarterly earnings reports that it was actually MOTU that was driving the action figure sales and their growth. And so there is so much information. You'd actually see it come out in the press releases with their financial reporting, and because they can't hide anything, it's illegal.
100%. Let's get to a couple questions. Nolan says, Duncan exclusive. Not sure if I'm going to like that. I haven't heard anything. Is this going to be exclusive at Target? Do you think, Michael?
I think so. I guess given what that website from the Netherlands was saying, and also just given that a lot of the deluxe figures seem to show up at Target first, it might be a shared exclusive for a bit and then move to other retailers. So I'm not worried. If you look at Beastman and now Too Bad, they're flooding the pegs. I honestly thought you wouldn't be able to find Too Bad anywhere, but it looks like they're producing enough to go around. And yeah.
Do me a favor, Michael. I'm going to ask you the next question, and then I just got a call coming in. Hold on for a second.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the Disney movie packaging? No plastic.
Let's see the Disney Move On packaging. So yes. Yeah, and I think we talked about this a while ago too, but I think it's a move that these toy companies are making, either for financial or environmental reasons, and it's not something that I think about a lot, but it actually, now that you do think about it, there are a lot of issues with the plastic-free packaging. So we have unboxings where you can definitely see the quality control issues from the factory come out, where the figures are either different or broken. I remember that Boba Fett that you showed, that was just totally it looked like it was disassembled in the package.
It's just so wrong. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Thundercat 75. She killed Panther. She can go to hell. Honestly, that was a pretty sore spot for me. I mean, she's got a lot of blood on her hands. And that was the one thing about the conclusion that kind of got me. It seemed almost as if she had absolution at the end, which was weird. Or was she in purgatory? There's an interesting concept, because they didn't exactly explain where she went. You know what I mean? She was in this interesting gown, but she was in a barren land. Even though it was rather beautiful, it was barren. So is she actually repenting by going on a journey to God knows where? I don't know. What are any thoughts on that, Michael?
No, I mean, I I took that scene for what it was and didn't read too much into it, but yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful scene, and I loved the showing of redemption of
Sure,
something at the
sure.
end.
I don't know how you can redeem yourself though after killing. Like honestly, you destroyed heaven. You destroyed you destroyed eternity in heaven. It's kind of
I know.
just crazy. But anyway,
I'm a forgiving person.
apparently so. Hannibal King. I think the emblem is actually an M and not an H. Just my thoughts. What would it stand for though? Like man? Because that would be very weird.
Yeah.
I think it's always been an H. It
Yeah,
doesn't
me
even
too.
make sense on Skeletor why it would be an M, right? And we do know ever since the 80s, they were trying to get rid of the Iron Cross for quite some time. I mean, it's been on Battle Armor He-Man. It's been on so many different incarnations. It's been on Power Punch He-Man. It's been it is an H.
Yeah,
as far as
I think it started with Battle Armor He-Man.
Yeah.
Actually, that's where they first introduced it. So
I
yeah.
believe so. Nomsky, they sculpted her legs great. Good definition. I can't deny that. That much is.
I
that
need
much
legs
is-
like that.
Absolutely. I think we all need legs like that. Hannibal King, proportions are spot on. Those legs are to die for. She is jacked, and if you want a good comparison in real life, check out Jade Cargill, I believe that is Cargill. She's built perfectly for MOTU. There you go, my friend. You can throw that up. I'll show it if you find it, Michael.
Right.
She's got legs up the A. There you go. Hal Jordan, Jay, your definition of a whole lot of accessories is way different than mine. Okay, so here's an interesting point. Bobby and Skelevator and Oz, when they were doing their discussion, they did bring up the idea she doesn't have a power sword. I thought that was actually interesting. Having said that, I have 4 power swords now. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure I need another power sword. However, what are your thoughts? $33, a soft goods cape, wired cape, two additional swapped hands, making it 6 hands altogether, and a blast effect. Value?
So loving the blast effect.
Mhm.
I'm comparing it to the that SDCC exclusive Scareglow that they released, right? It was,
Yeah.
when you open the package, lightning happened.
Yep.
There was a lot more to it than just a
Sure.
plastic box with an insert. So,
Mhm.
that said, she's in line with a deluxe figure that you could buy at retail. So, we've seen deluxe figures with less. So I think it's fine.
She also comes with a couple of inserts as well. We
Yeah,
forgot to mention that.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah. I mean, you're paying for the total package.
she's also got legs to kill for. So it's I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she looks like a 7 close to 8-inch figure. I mean, she's tall. She's really really
Yeah.
tall. Bad Fat One. The stock image has has bigger open eyes. That I did find that weird. I wonder if that was a prototype versus what we're gonna get. It like the colors are off. Like it's more yellow plastic. It's not gold. So I think there is a definite difference there. James Serapio, I might need to grab 2 to custom paint one if needed for Man at Arms. Yes, I think that's going to be a lot of people who are going to get into that for sure. Alex Valdez, hello, Michael. Toy Habits is my jam.
It's so funny because when I read that, so my brother David created that intro music
Oh
for
yeah,
us. Like he's a musician. He got on the piano when he was 4 years old. He's my older brother. He also has a YouTube channel called The Music Shed.
oh, sweet.
And he does a lot of reaction videos to music. But it's funny, I asked him to make us a intro that had the same feeling as the Transformers movie intro, but not totally ripping it off. And I
Yeah,
think he nailed it.
absolutely, 100%. It was great. Nomsky, they kind of got phallic shape in her costume. What?
Where's that
Um,
coming from?
I'm not even gonna. You know what, Nomsky? I'm gonna choose to stay away from that. I don't want to. I don't want to dive into something like that. But thank you for pointing it out. Pink Power of Grayskull. It almost feels like Revelations and Origins are stuffing the last few waves with figures. Is this good for the line? You know what? I you know what, Michael, why don't you take this first, and then I'm gonna give mine because I have a very specific point right now.
Yeah. Actually, I wanted to go back to something else you said, and I think it was in our Duplico conversation, just around just having more figures in these waves, or having extra figures. And if you look at the cross sell of Man at Arms, he's actually cross-selled with, let me see, let me just check the. Yeah, he's actually cross-sold with Wave 7 and not Wave 8, so that's actually interesting. So he's cross-sold with Sorceress Evil Lynn, Frosto Roboto. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Wave 8. So yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Like, I think it's fine to produce a lot of these figures and, you know, not have them fit neatly in a wave. So
yeah, no, absolutely. So Jade Cargill, wow, holy crap! Yes, she definitely has those superhero proportions, 100%. Like she looks like a living superhero, like absolutely, like holy crap. Looks like is she a wrestler? I guess all elite wrestling, I'm guessing.
yeah, she's an AEW wrestler.
Yeah, she definitely has. Wow, she's built like a brick, 100%, and gorgeous too, 100%. Absolutely, definitely would be a great live action version of Evelyn, I guess, if it ever comes around.
Totally.
Of course, people are gonna have their opinions about that. Let's see here. D Spirit. Is Scott coming back? Yes, Scott's always welcome to come back. Scott said he's happy to come back and do another one round. Stephen Rothy was finally able to catch both of you guys live. Love your content and love your show. You guys are amazing. Well, thank you, Stephen. You're pretty awesome yourself, brother. Really quickly, Daniel Heron, thank you for this $2 super sticker, my friend. Retro Jetpack Frogman approves of this live stream. I'm glad he does. I am so glad that he approves, because have you gotten your did you even go for a Frogmonger?
I did, and mine has not shipped yet.
Yeah,
funny enough.
Neither mine. So
Okay.
a bunch
We're in
of
the
us
same boat.
we're still frogless. We have no frogs. Cora says, I'll just give her Skella Gods or He-Man's Power Sword. Exactly. I've got so many freaking Power Swords right now. It's not even funny. They're toothpicks. They're literally just hanging around like freaking toothpicks. It's absolutely crazy. We're gonna start winding down, guys, because Super Bowl's on. We all gotta get ready for Super Bowl. Simon Abella says, do we have an outline on Masterverse production process? The multitude of figures is great, not complaining, but is there a roll-on plan, or will we have a sudden stop? Well, this is this is the thing about all toy lines in general. I mean, like, they can stop at any time, especially when you're dealing with a multi-billion-dollar company. If it's not hitting their bottom lines, they can pretty much say whatever, right? But we do have another what's it called? Supporting television series coming to Netflix. Something people continue to get this a little bit mistaken is this is actually only season 2, guys. Season 1 was split into 2 halves, which is generally how they do these things these days on streaming. There was a first half of season 1, second half of season 1. We're now entering season 2, which is called Revolutions. Right, so that's going to be an interesting portion in itself. And as far as we know, it has not been canceled. Unlike the Masters of the Universe movie, which is continuously being canceled over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. So I will believe the Masters series movie when I see it. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, and actually that reminded me just to publish something that I just sent you in the private chat. As far as an outlay for future figures, I just so. With all of these leaks coming, we have all of these leaks in several different articles, and so I just put them all into one thing.
Okay. There you go. So guys, can I show it, Michael? Or
of course, yeah. I just published it.
So guys, if you are interested in seeing a full list of what we've just been talking about, over at literally breaking news, it just happened just now. Toy Habits has just published a full list of 2023 leaked and confirmed rumors and confirmed figures. Guys, definitely check out this full comprehensive list of the 2023 leaked and confirmed figures. This is going to be a lot of fun. Huge thanks to Michael for being on today. This has been incredible. Are there any other chats that we haven't gotten to yet? I think we're good.
So answering the question about the outlay, this is my outlay for right now.
There you go.
There's what, 12, 11 figures on the horizon.
Absolutely. So once again, I want to give a huge shout out to Michael over at Toy Habits for being here tonight. Michael, thank you so much. How can people reach you, Michael?
I am on Instagram all day long at Toy Habits website. You can DM me whenever. I'm happy to chat with everybody. I'm a super friendly person and actually I love this part, engaging with the community. And you can also find us at toyhabits.com. You can also find my partner, the Toy Sorceress, who is my partner in crime on the website. She is at Toy Sorceress. She does amazing photography. She does amazing in-depth reviews for the site. And, she also tries to bring and she does bring all the news, to everyone. So we're trying to be helpful to everybody. So we appreciate the support.
And before we dive into the news,
don't forget to head over to toyhabits.com for all the latest news and reviews when they drop. Tell them that Jay sent you.
I love that.
I just had to do it. It was a lot of fun to put that together. And that's actually why we started late, because I was just like jamming it together as quickly as possible. I don't know if you want to answer this, but you sort of touched on it the other day, but Keith is a huge fan of Toy Habits. Any chance Larry will join the stream again one day? Just again, you don't have to, but Michael,
I am. I guess as far as the future of the channel, I get asked this a lot. I am burnt out making YouTube content. And so I enjoyed it for a very long time. And just the pace we were going out just fried me. And so we're just taking a very long break and just trying to figure out what to do with the channel. So I appreciate everybody's patience, but until then, we do publish everything on the website. So you can just kind of go there for breaking news. It's actually easier to get news out in that format.
Oh yeah, 100%. In terms of the overall production value, 100%. But you know what? You guys did such a great job with the YouTube channel, honestly, Michael. And hopefully, when you've had time to reflect and take a break. I mean, people do it all the time. So really looking forward to seeing you guys. You, Toy Sorceress, and of course Larry, wonderful team. Thank you guys again for bringing us such a great time over the last couple of years. Black Angus says, everybody enjoy the game. Yes. Go Eagles, I think. I'm not sure who's. I'm just kidding. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs, guys, just in case anybody has forgotten. Simon Abella, great. Raymond Chong, hello, Jay and Toy Habits. Good to see you, Raymond. Long time, brother. Ricardo, Mega Jay and Michael, my frogmonger arrived last week. Big fans of both the channel, guys. Thank you for sharing your work. Thank you, Ricardo. Really appreciate it. Starkiller Base. Thanks for the homework, Michael. Thanks, Jay, for the live stream together with Michael. Yes, of course. Definitely check out that list. It is comprehensive, and I think a lot of people are going to enjoy going through that. It looks like a really, really in-depth list of what's happened this past 2023, or this just as early as 2023. Oh my gosh, it's only February. It's only February. Nolan. It was a great stream, Jay and Chad. Jay and Michael, thank you. Good journey and Geek Proud. You too, Nolan. Chris Kenny, awesome about the leak list. Thank you, Michael. And Emerald Knight Photo. Yes, go Eagles. Javier will have the last comment today. I hope both teams lose. Niners Nation. Jeez Louise. There's never been a tie in the Super Bowl. Never. And just for obvious reasons. Figuratively speaking, in the house. Good to see you, brother. And Omisokas, every time I find new MOTU figures at Target, the Toy Habits jingle immediately starts playing in my mind. And you know what? Just because, guys, we will end off. Toy Habits. Just so much fun, guys. Seriously, and hopefully one day we'll see Toy Habits come back, and that's okay. We're going to take a break a little bit, and we're going to reset and do everything we can. Guys, I want to thank my very special guest, Michael from Toy Habits, as well as Toy Sorceress. It's been an absolute blast. I did want to give a huge shout out to my Patreons on my Patreon page, as well as all of my channel members. Where did it go? How come? I can never get this right, guys. Want to give a huge shout out to all my Patreons and channel member supporters: Business Calculator, Old IT Guy, Robert Ken 33, Joseph Michaels, Gamer Bud, Mini Appliances Toy Shop, Jordan Canada, Nolan, Master Versal Toy Hunter, John Mejia, Mitchell Bennett, Randall Gazeeg, Schwartz Matt, Snell's World, Skyfall, MF Toys Canada, Palpatine 1975, Darth Kumar, Smoked Hand, Tony Olivero, Kevin Herbert, Efren Vera, Rufus Roger, Nolan, again, the other Nolan, John Joker, Sir Clifton, Sarah St. John, Osmond Toys, Justin Huffman, Bella, and I forgot John Mahia over at Emerald Knight Photo. That is going to get updated, guys. This list is continuing to roll over. It is absolutely crazy. But I want to thank each and every one of my patrons, channel members, supporters. You guys are amazing. And huge news that I didn't even realize until somebody just sent me a message. Mega J Retro, what the heck? When did this happen? Mega J Retro just clicked over to 12,000 subscribers, guys. Thank you everybody here for that. Holy crap! 12,000 subscribers. I never thought in a million years that would ever happen. Wow, just absolutely crazy, guys. Thank you so much for that. It's absolutely amazing milestone.
Congrats.
And it's because of you guys. It's because of you. But we're not going to concentrate on that. Seriously, guys, have a great Super Bowl weekend. I hope you guys are all doing well. Michael, any last thoughts before we log off?
No, I mean, I hope everyone has a safe and happy Super Bowl Sunday. And yeah, I mean, MOTU is alive and strong. I think we all can feel that in our hearts and our minds and the things that we're seeing online.
Absolutely. Alex Valdez says, Michael, Toyota called. They want their theme song.
I've seen that before.
Great show, Jay Michael. Thank you, Emerald Knight Photo. Again, he's one of the big supporters here on the channel. Unicron's Left Nut, which is, of course, Michael's favorite handle. He loves it. Really enjoy Michael being part of your show, Jay. Well, Michael appreciates you, Unicron's Left Nut. Awesome. Jay, congrats. Thank you so much, Nolan. Really appreciate that. Figuratively speaking, congratulations. Thank you so much, guys. Wildor, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Wildor. Good to see you, my friend. Looks like I'm late. You unfortunately are, Wildor. We're just logging off right now. RoboGeek28, damn, just came online and saw that the stream was going. Well, you know what, my friend, definitely go check this out. It's been a great stream. Lots of great content. Nolan, yes, Nolan's in the house. Chris Beyond, but how are they going to get how are they going to get all this stuff out by April? How is it possible? Clearly, this is just another attempt at Scott making us look bad by Hasbro. Oh my gosh, thank you, Chris. Thank you for that. Starkiller Base, congrats on the 12K. You deserve it. No, guys, it's not just me. It's you. You guys are the reason why this happened. Thank you. You guys are the ones who made this happen. Thank you so much. Michael, thank you again for being here. It's been an absolute pleasure. Guys, I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Have a very happy and safe Super Bowl weekend. You guys are the best. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And of course, as always, good journey and geek proud.